All right, we're about to introduce our next speaker. Our next speaker is Mrs. and Pastor, Mrs. Amarachi Faith. She's my sweet mama. Mama, you're welcome. But before we welcome Mama, can we quickly pay a little bit attention to who this precious woman is? I hope you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? All right. So Mrs. Faith Amarachi, let's quickly introduce her.
It is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed speaker for today, Amarachi Faith Amusi. Amarachi is a distinguished psychologist and community development expert with over 20 years of experience empowering teenagers and families. She holds a postgraduate diploma in education and is a certified human resource manager and mediator. As a preliminary member of the Teen Coaches Academy in Australia, she has also earned certifications as a children and teenage coach. Amarachi the founder of a non-governmental organization that has supported over 6,000 out-of-school girls, providing them with access to education and essential resources. Currently, she serves as the lead consultant for the Teens Alike Rediscovery Academy and the executive director of the Dazzling Damsels of Virtue Foundation. Her invaluable contributions have been recognized with numerous awards, including the prestigious Niger Diamond Award. In addition to her professional accomplishments, Amarachi is a dedicated pastor and mentor. She remains deeply committed to fostering growth and resilience in young people. Please join me in welcoming Amarachi Faith Amusi.
You're welcome, Mama. Mama, you have the stage. You can unmute and go ahead, Mom.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Mama. You're welcome, Mom.
Can you hear me, Joy? Can you hear me?
Yes, Ma, I can hear you clearly.
Awesome. Good evening, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. You know, one thing that thrilled me so much yes, you might not be 1,000 women in this room, but seeing the number of women that I see here, knowing that this was a paid program, and it was literally said, heal, reinvent, and thrive. You know, it didn't say business, it didn't say career. It talked about us, and I see. I see Joy frozen. I'm not sure if I can still be heard. So I want to congratulate every woman in this room, every man, because I heard some men actually wanted to be part of this training. Every man who had taken time to prioritize them tonight. You are super welcome. You are indeed the real MVP in this room. So tonight, I've been asked to talk about work balance and how to be able to manage stress. One thing I always say in my meetings when I'm asked to talk about this particular topic is to say that balance is a myth. When it comes to work life, balance is a myth. Balance is what you decide for yourself. You know, when you look at the wheel of life, there are different things that comprises the wheel of life. Your career is there, your family is there, God is there, your health is there. So you tell yourself, imagine you're trying to, create a balance, right? It's not going to work. You have to decide what is priority for you. Now, for a woman who has a child is still sucking, you can't say that beauty is you prioritize beauty over your child at that particular point in time. Your child becomes a priority. You can't say you're prioritizing sleep because that child will keep you awake. That child will literally keep you awake. So when it comes to balance, balance is what you decide for yourself. It is what you have to literally create for yourself. You look at your life as at now, and tell yourself, what exactly should I prioritize? What exactly should I prioritize? Every levels of priority. Now, there's a course that I teach that has to do with understanding your top priorities. Now, as people who want to be able to transcend into a different career path, you need to be able to understand what are your priorities at this point in time in your life. When I was a teenager, my priority, or when I was in school, my priority at that time was more of how to pass my exams, how to make my 2-1. All right. So as I progressed in life, my priorities changed. My priorities, what I called priorities, became what someone else didn't call priority. So I want to start by saying that, and then I want to tell you about myself, because I found that when it comes to work-life balance, which I will try to define along the line after telling you about myself, because I think that the point where I'm asked to talk about this course. Now, I'm a mother of 4 amazing children. I'm a wife, gracefully. Um, I'm an executive director to 2 companies. I consult for 2 other companies. I also work in an organization. Now, I have 2 teenagers in my house, and the other 2, they're in primary school.
All right, sorry for that. We are waiting for our speaker. And I think she has logged out. Yeah. I don't know what could be the challenge. But in the okay,
One
Mama.
thing, one thing I one thing I dread about online meetings is network that is doing the magic yet. Here I have Glow, here I have MTN. At the same time, we're in this mess. But that's fine. I try as I can to be as fast as I can now that I have network. So the question is, with every single thing on my table, how am I not looking stressed? How am I not stressed? And I'll share the secrets with you. Now, I've come to realize that there's nothing you can achieve effectively without planning. There is nothing you can achieve effectively as a woman without planning. Why? Because women are nurturers. And by default, we find ourselves trying to do so many things at the same time. So you see, they say a woman is multitasking. So because we know our disposition as women, we must take a step back and plan how the things around us must work. You know, when I tell women, I say to women, every woman must work to be empowered. All right? You being empowered is not just about what you know, it's about being able to work to create wealth. Because for you to enjoy your life as a woman, you must be able to delegate. And some of the things you would delegate, you will have to pay for them. Now, in your early stage of of life, where you're trying to gather, you're trying to build. I'm not saying that's where you start, trying to put up all this thing. At that point in time, you prioritize what is more important to me as a woman. You focus on that. Why you don't also pay less attention to the other ones. Why you prioritize, I say it again, you do not pay less attention to the other ones. Now, today, I was working in the office today and I felt this very sharp pain in my chest. And I just stood up, I just stood up, went to the headache, oh, my tummy, no. We must pay attention to other aspects of our lives, priorities on things that need to be placed priorities at that particular point in time in our life. So that takes me to defining today what is work-life balance. Work-life balance is allocating time effectively between your professionalism and your personal life. You know, there's a difference between your professional.
Let's be a bit patient. She's going to join us. Network is wonderful and God is in control.
So, like I said, there's a difference between my friend David would tell me, maybe you should put off your video. I don't know. Joy, do you mind if I take off my video?
Yes,
So
you
that
can.
I don't know whether that's why.
Yes, you can go ahead to take off your video if that's what.
So let's see if this will work. Thank you very much. So there's a difference between your professionalism and your personal life. Now, professionalism has to do what you do with your work, your deliverables, or you're working in an office, you're a CEO, you're a consultant. This has to do with your professionalism. And of course, it requires a level of balance, because if you don't work, you won't be paid. If you don't deliver, you will not be paid. So, and then there's your personal life. What encompasses your personal life? Your routines, your morning routines, your eating habits. Does it have anything to do with your work? Your eating habits. And remember, I heard this first from my father. It is one who is healthy that can work. He said health is wealth. So you see, a healthy man is a man that has the capacity to produce wealth. That is why it's very important that we're able to allocate time effectively for these things. Let's say you wake up in the morning, your prayer time is 2 hours, all right? The time you're giving your children is 1 hour. So that's why I said that balance is a myth, because one, if you're giving your children 2 hours, God 2 hours, work 2 hours, it's not balance. No, your children 2 hours, God 1 hour, work 3 hours. You see, it's not balance. Because they're not giving equal time. Balance is what? Equal. So it's for you to decide what amount of time do I need to dedicate to this thing. Your professionalism, if it's beginning to affect your family, then you might need to step back and take a lower job. I know why I'm saying it. We work in the field. And for mothers who have so much, for someone like me who is a creative, I create every day. Every day. For mothers who are very creative, every single day you're trying to chunk out solutions, there's a high possibility that you pay less attention to your children. While I say that balance is a myth, you must allocate effective time to both your professional life and your personal life. Imagine a banker who goes to work in the morning by 7 a.m. She's at work, maybe a manager, or you take your kids to school. And for someone like me, I love to cook my children's food. I don't like to buy food. I cook their food. So I wake up in the morning, I do my devotion, I watch the kitchen, I'm making food, we're having devotion, they get ready for school, and then I serve the meal, I pack, they get their food packed, and I drive the ones I have to drive to school. The other ones, I drive them to school. And then I go back to pick them at 4 p.m. And then we come back home. Remember, I have been in the office working. And I go back to the office, to their school, to go and pick them, and I bring them back home, and they have to bathe, and then they come back to the table. If you're with me on this table as a parent, he has become like, see, the school has given us assignments to become the teachers at home. You have to now come back home and start assignments. These days it's now research, so you can't even do much. So you're doing research because you have to be there to ensure that these kids are actually doing what they ought to do on their desk. When you're done, you have yourself also to take care of as a mother. You have your mental health. When Joy, one thing I celebrate about Joy is she's so passionate about ensuring that women have the right mental health. It takes a toll on us. All these things that have rang as a bell. You just be shocked. Our husbands is just in their office or in their AC. AC office, writing, sending out emails, going for meetings, and then they stand the meeting, they serve them breakfast, they serve them lunch, they come back in the evening, and you still have to perform your duties as a woman. That's for married women. So you see, sometimes it looks as if you're giving so much and having little. So at that time, as a woman, you need to understand what joy is trying to do. She's trying to ensure that we as women prioritize ourselves in the midst of all that is happening in our midst. So I've tried to explain to you what work-life balance is. So you allocate time effectively. So let's do a little exercise, all right? Now, can you picture or take a pen and paper and draw out every single thing that looks like what you do on a regular basis? You wake up in the morning, of course, you pray, you lead the devotion in the house. If you're single in the room, you do A and B, that's been a long time, being a single has been a long time. So you ask yourself a question: what is your day like? Now, what does balance mean to you? What does balance mean to you? I've told you about the wheels of life. You have your career, you have your spirituality, you have your... What does balance mean to you? Does it mean that you're paying more time, you're paying more attention to your children or to your career? What does it mean to you? Please prompt me when my time is almost up. I know I have like about 40 minutes. We that we're in the business of talking. We can talk for 3 hours without blinking.
Go ahead,
So
ma.
please,
Go ahead, ma.
I have how many minutes to go?
No, ma. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So you see, so you ask yourself, what is balance to you? For me, balance is paying more attention to my family than my work. That's balance for me. So every single time I find myself putting so much effort in my work and less attention on my children, something begins to push me back. Why? Because I have just 18 years with those children. And for the fact that we understand what we do in the field, I understand that I have even less than 18 years with them. Because they are formed at 12, they are formed at 13, they are formed at 14. So you see, for me, that is balance. When I'm giving my children attention, of course, now, if you're working, you have to deliver. All right? But being able to prioritize, place those kids as a top priority, place my family, place my relationship with God. So if I want to list for you now, anytime you see me working so hard, as I sometimes I wake up early in the morning, my prayer time, and I have one or two deliverables to do, and I pick it up, I'm doing it like, Amarachi, this is wrong. This is so wrong. Why? Because at that particular point in time, I'm disrupting my personal balance. My balance might not be your balance. What is balance to you? What is balance to you? Balance to me is that I pay attention to my spirituality. Top priority. Balance to me is that second to my spirituality is my family. And then my ability to deliver on my job. Of course, I know at my age, health is not, I shouldn't even think about it. It's something that flows. Why? Because you understand that as you age, you need to pay attention. Like today now, I discovered that I need to take a lot of water. Why? Because I know that over time I've tried to check my BP 1 or 2 times. I don't have high BP, but they keep saying that, they keep asking me, do you have low BP? So today, Dr. Little told me, he said, Mom, you need to take a lot of water. So when you see me now, if I come to your office and you serve me one water, you don't love me. Now you had it, joy. You should provide like 4. If I leave, I should take like 4 water on your table, on your table. So now that I understand that this is very important to me, I put water regularly in my bag. I ensure that I have water all the time. I'm trying to drink one, sorry. Very important. Very, very important. I'm trying to make this as practical as possible. I can come here and start singing to you, technique A, technique B. to use myself as an example to let you know that every single point in time in your life, you must decide what your balance is. Now, ask yourself, what is my imbalance? When you know what your distraction is, it will help you to create your attractions. Let me say it again. When you're able to discover what your distractions are, it helps you to sit down and create your attractions. What does that mean? If I understand that I am distracted when I meet someone like okay, let me tell you a story to portray this. Growing up, I love quiet, firm young men. They're quiet, they're calm. So now, as a young person, there's a tendency that if I keep flocking around such kind of men, when I know that I'm not ready for marriage, there's a high possibility that I'll fall into temptation. So now that I have noticed and discovered what exactly my distractions look like, when I see them, I tell myself, this is what my distractions look like. So I take out time to write for myself what should replace those distractions. That is traction. So while I know what my distractions are, while you're able to discover what your balance is, you can tell yourself, what does imbalance mean to me? So whenever you find yourself, women in this room, they will tell you, who can even console you well enough? Who can even hold you? Sometimes you're at home all day with the children. Sometimes you call, you want to call your husband on the phone, he's very busy in a meeting. Who can even give you that succor? You have to tell yourself, this is what is important to me, and create an atmosphere that helps you to enjoy that level of balance. Now, how do we deal with stress? Right now, I have been in the situation where I have been stressed. Now, does that mean that I didn't understand what balance is? No. Sometimes, like this is the festive period, right? There are lots of things to do. There are lots of things to do. There are lots of things coming at you. You're closing up your sales records. You're closing up your reports. You're getting to your clients. You're writing letters to people that have been your support system. You're doing hampers. So there are a lot of things. That's why I said, for you to be able to understand what it means to prioritize yourself, you must know what planning is. You don't plan doing what? Doing war. You plan before the war. Stress is a natural thing. It's natural. It's a natural thing. Why? Because sometimes we have to stretch ourselves to get more results. So for you to be able to carefully deal with stress, Dr. Edelman had said it before, you must practice mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is your ability to sit down and meditate. Meditate. Tell yourself, this thing that I'm putting myself into now, what can it yield me? Is the ability to sit down and take a deep breath. That is mindfulness practice. You have to. It's festive period. We're closing up sales. Every single point in time, take a break and take a deep breath. Take a break and drink water. Be mindful. That's what mind. Just be mindful of the fact that, this is actually a very stressful season. Businesses need to, sell. Some people have taken loan. They need to, finish up this. They need to meet targets to be able to pay back their loans. So you have to be mindful. That is why you must create a routine that serves your higher self. Create a routine that serves your higher self. What is your higher self? Who is that person that you constantly see yourself becoming? Create a routine that helps you become that person. Regardless of the stressful situation around you, you're able to have that pause to regain back consciousness and get back to the field to work. Prioritize your time. I told you that work-life balance is allocating time. So you see, every single thing that has to do with balance regulates around time. Time. Time is not your friend. Time is not your friend. Time is an investment. If you lose it, you lose out. It's not your friend. You say, oh, that's why sometimes people say, oh, hey, I wish I have more time. You can tell your friend, I wish you can stay more time. It's okay, let me give you 1 more hour. Time, in my language, is not your friend. Time is an investment. If you want to take it for I say is an angel investment. You don't see it, but if you misuse it, you lose out. So always tell yourself, like I said, what is top priority for me. When you're able to set out what is top priority for you, you'll be able to create a balance that will help you manage your time effectively. Please, as a woman, cultivate healthy habits. All right. I told you about water. Yes, I used to take water, but I didn't know that I wasn't even. When you think you're a local champion, I used to, but I didn't know I wasn't even doing enough. Doctor said to me today, I like such things. I used to like this kind of things, instruction from doctor. When I'm telling my children or my husband, doctor said I have to be taking this amount of water. Everybody's doctor said. So you see, it's no longer going to be, because everybody will hear it though, because they love their mother. I'm important to them. So everybody now is going to be involved when it comes to taking care of me. That's why I said when it comes to creating balance, which I said is a myth, but of course, top priorities, you must delegate. Sometimes you won't remember. I have my staff. Sometimes I have a lot of invites. I just forward it to my staff. Say, remind me every 2 days. When it's almost time, remind me almost every hour. That's delegation. So you take away some level of stress from your routine. You're getting me. If you're with me, please send me your best emojis. You're not with me, send me your bad emojis. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Temi. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's head on. Now you have to form healthy habits like hydration. As a woman, it's very important you stay hydrated. I don't understand how women, stay hydrated during the day with carbonated drinks. I don't understand it. Your health must be prioritized. Your health is very important.